Chosen. One pause right here. You are not watching this by accident. You have been summoned by divine appointment, drawn into this moment by the timing of heaven itself. Something shifted last night in the unseen, and the archangels are still in awe of what was released over your life. Anointed One, you are standing at the very edge of a supernatural financial breakthrough, a divine wealth transfer spoken long before you were born. For as Deuteronomy says, it is God who gives you power to obtain wealth. Open your spirit now. What follows is not a message, it is a prophetic activation. Chosen One. Something in you already knows that this moment is not ordinary. You did not click on this message casually, and you're not listening to these words by coincidence. There is a pull in your spirit, a quiet stirring that began long before today, long before last night, long before you even understood the magnitude of who you are. And whether you can name it or not, heaven has been orchestrating a divine alignment around your life, positioning you for a breakthrough that has been long delayed but never denied. Last night was not just another night. It was a spiritual appointment you did not schedule but heaven kept. While your body slept, your spirit stood in places your mind cannot yet comprehend. And Chosen One, the realms of light reacted to your name. Something ancient, something holy, something sealed since before your first breath was summoned forward. I know you may feel tired, confused, or stretched thin right now. You may have woken with a heaviness in your chest or a strange clarity you could not explain. But I want you to hear this with the depth of your soul that was not random. That was residue. That was the afterglow of heaven touching your destiny. I say this not as someone speaking theory or poetry. I say this as someone who has walked through my own midnight hours, the hours where everything felt unsteady, the hours where I begged God to show me why nothing made sense, the hours where I felt forgotten. I know what it means to cry quietly, to keep moving, while your heart is breaking to hope for change, but fear disappointment. And yet I also know what it feels like when God interrupts a story that seems to be stuck. I know the shock of divine turnaround, the kind you can't manufacture, the kind you cannot earn, the kind that descends like light through a crack you didn't know existed. Chosen One. What happened last night was that kind of interruption. Heaven reviewed the pages of your life, every delay, every betrayal, every prayer you whispered under your breath when no one else was around. And instead of judging you, instead of condemning you, instead of measuring your worth by your mistakes, heaven stood for you. Heaven intervened. Heaven rewrote what others tried to sabotage, and heaven restored what life tried to drain from your hands. This is why your spirit feels both tender and electric right now. This is why you feel like you're standing on the edge of something you can't articulate. It is because the spiritual atmosphere around your life has shifted. You are no longer in the season you were in yesterday. You are standing at the border of divine reversal, the place where God begins to accelerate what has been stagnant and pour increase into what was once empty. I know what it's like to stand in that place. Years ago, I walked through a season where everything in my life seemed to be collapsing at once. Finances, relationships, confidence, direction. I didn't understand then that collapse often comes before construction, that breaking precedes birthing. I didn't know that the season meant to bury me was the same season that positioned me. It wasn't until years later that I understood God had to empty what was familiar so he could fill what was destined. And now I tell you this because your spirit needs to know what felt like attack was often protection. What felt like delay was redirection. What felt like loss was alignment. Chosen, one last night heaven confirmed that your time of divine inheritance has begun. The financial reversals, the supernatural opportunities, the unexpected promotions, the sudden openings, they are not fantasies. They are not wishful thinking. They are movements already set in motion. There is a financial mantle hovering near your life, the kind that does not come from hustling or striving, but from heaven restoring what was withheld. The kind of blessing that shifts your household, your decisions, your stability, your future generations. The kind that arrives not because you chased it, but because you endured long enough to receive it. You may not feel wealthy right now. You may not see evidence of breakthrough in the natural, but neither did Joseph when he woke in the prison the morning before Pharaoh summoned him. Neither did David the night before he was crowned. Neither did Ruth the day before she stepped onto the field that would transform her destiny. Breakthrough does not introduce itself before it arrives. It moves quietly, then appears suddenly. That is where you stand right now. In the quiet before the sudden. In the stillness before the shift. In the holy pause before the divine acceleration. Chosen one. I need you to understand something deeply. Heaven is not asking you to strive. Heaven is asking you to align. What was activated last night was not based on your performance, but on your identity. You were chosen before you knew what choosing meant. You were marked long before you learned the language of faith. And now heaven is calling your mind, your voice, your decisions to catch up to what your spirit has already received. This is why the archangels stood in awe. This is why the atmosphere around your life feels different. This is why you sense a shift, even if you can't explain it. Your name was spoken in places higher than your fears, louder than your doubts, stronger than any delay that tried to bury you. And now, chosen one, everything is beginning to move. Chosen one, as you breathe into this moment, I want you to recognize something your spirit already knows. Heaven is not waiting to decide about you. Heaven has already decided. The shift has already happened. The decree has already been released. What you are feeling now is simply the echo, the aftershock, the spiritual vibration of what took place long before your eyes opened this morning. And just as the body feels tremors after an earthquake, your soul is responding to the divine movement that reshaped your destiny in the night. There is a weight in your atmosphere that wasn't there before. A holy pressure. A gentle but persistent tug. It is the sign of spiritual promotion, the sign of elevation that has not yet reached your physical environment, but has already been sealed in the unseen. And chosen one, I need you to let this truth sink deeply into your being. The heavens have already moved on your behalf. Now it is your turn to walk in what has been written. Last night, while your body rested and your conscious mind wandered into dreams, your spirit stood in a council far older than time itself. I know this sounds lofty, almost unreal, but I say it because I have lived through moments where my spirit sensed something long before my life reflected it. I've had nights where I went to bed, burdened, confused, or exhausted, but woke with a peace that made no logical sense. At first, I dismissed it. I told myself it was just emotions balancing, nothing more. But over time, I learned peace without explanation is often the evidence of heavenly intervention. You too may feel that strange peace today, not the calm that comes from everything going right, but the calm that doesn't match your circumstances, the kind that feels borrowed from someplace higher, the kind that whispers, something is different, even if you can't see it yet. This peace is not accidental, it is prophetic. It is the residue of what heaven resolved last night. Chosen one. Heaven reviewed the record of your life, the pages stained with disappointment and silent endurance. The battles you didn't broadcast. The moments you broke quietly behind closed doors. The dreams you kept alive, even when everything around you told you to give up. Heaven saw the resilience you didn't realize you had. Heaven counted the seeds you sowed when you had nothing left to give. And heaven refused to let your story end in frustration. There are people who will never fully understand the cost of your calling. They think you are strong because you look composed. They think you endure easily because you rarely complain, but only God knows the weight you carry. Only heaven knows how many nights you cried, but still chose to believe. Only the angels know how many attacks were aimed at you, but never reached you because heaven intercepted on your behalf. And last night, the verdict in heaven shifted, not because you begged for it, not because you proved yourself worthy, but because the appointed time arrived. Timing is everything in the kingdom. When the season changes, even the enemy must step aside. When heaven says yes, no earthly force can sustain a no. Chosen one, you are stepping into that yes. I say this as someone who once struggled to recognize divine timing. For years, I mistook delay for denial. I blamed myself for battles that were never my fault. I thought maybe God had chosen others more than He had chosen me. But what I didn't understand back then was that heaven operates on timing, not tension. And the moment the appointed hour arrives, the smallest whisper from God can do what a lifetime of striving could not. This is the season you are walking into now, the season where effort will no longer be your greatest weapon, alignment will. The season where your spirit will lead, not your fears. The season where what was withheld will be released rapidly, almost unnaturally fast. The kind of supernatural transfer that destabilizes doubt and silences every voice that said you were stuck. You may not see the evidence yet, but trust me, the spiritual realm always shifts before the physical catches up. Think of how dawn comes long before the sun rises high enough to illuminate the earth. The sky feels different before the light manifests. And right now, your life is in that in-between space, the early light, the first glow, the beginning of the breakthrough that has already begun unfolding around you. Chosen one, your financial atmosphere has shifted. Your spiritual rank has risen. Your name has been spoken in places where blessings are assigned, where protection is dispatched, where destiny is authorized. This is why you feel a slight trembling in your expectations. This is why your heart senses something is coming even when your logic tries to doubt it. It's because heaven has announced your next chapter. You may have spent years feeling overlooked. You may have watched others walk into opportunities you prayed for. You may have wondered why your path seemed slower, harder, more complicated. But hear me with clarity. Your delay was not denial. Your slow season was not punishment. Your hidden years were preparation. Heaven hides what it treasures until the moment it reveals has the most impact. Chosen one, you are stepping into that moment now. You are moving from surviving to receiving, from enduring to expanding, from hoping to possessing. Heaven has shifted the weight of your story. And though your mind may not fully grasp it, yet your spirit knows. Chosen one, as we move deeper into what heaven began last night, I want you to understand something that will change the way you see your entire journey. You were not being attacked because you were weak. You were being attacked because of what you carry. The warfare around your life has never been random. The resistance has never been arbitrary. The battle has never been about your past. It has always been about your future. For years, you may have wondered why certain people targeted you, why certain opportunities slipped away, why certain seasons felt impossible to survive. You questioned your worth. You doubted your path. You assumed you were doing something wrong, but chosen one. The truth is that the enemy saw your destiny long before you did, and warfare always intensifies around those who are about to step into divine inheritance. You see, when you're chosen, your spirit carries a frequency that threatens darkness even before you open your mouth. When you're chosen, your presence disrupts atmospheres you don't even realize you're influencing. When you're chosen, even your silence has power. And when heaven has written greatness into your story, hell always tries to intercept the delivery. That is why the pressure around your life has been so intense. That is why the delays have been so long. That is why the betrayals cut so deeply. You were not being punished, you were being preserved. I say this not from a distant place of theory, but from lived experience. There was a time when I questioned everything, my calling, my purpose, even my value. People I trusted turned cold without explanation. Opportunities I thought were secure disintegrated overnight. It felt like the ground beneath me was crumbling. But later, when heaven unveiled what was being prepared for me, I realized that God was not taking from me. He was clearing my path. He was removing what would have corrupted the blessing. He was protecting the future version of me who needed space to rise. Chosen one. The same has been happening in your life. The losses you cried over were actually divine shields. The rejections that stung were heavenly redirections. The people who left were never meant to witness where God was taking you. Heaven will never allow contamination in the rooms where destiny is assigned. That is why certain doors stayed shut, no matter how hard you knocked. It wasn't because you were unworthy, it was because you were reserved for something higher. And last night, something shifted that confirms this truth. Your season of reservation has ended, and your season of revelation has begun. Heaven has revealed your name in the spiritual archives, not for judgment, but for activation, for release, for elevation. And the archangels stood still in awe because the fullness of what you carry has finally reached its appointed time. I want you to imagine something for a moment. Picture a seed buried in the soil. For months, maybe even years, nothing looks different on the surface. There is no sign of progress, no evidence of transformation, no visible change. But deep beneath the ground, things are happening that the eye cannot see. Roots are being formed. Structure is being strengthened. Capacity is being built. And then suddenly, not gradually, not gently, but suddenly the seed breaks the surface. It emerges not as the small thing it once was, but as something transformed. Chosen. One, you are that seed. Your life has been underground training, hidden growth, silent formation. And now heaven has commanded the soil to break open. The season of emerging has begun. You may feel the stretch. You may feel the shift. You may feel the unfamiliar weight of newness. That is because your spirit is expanding to hold what heaven just released. And this is where many chosen ones hesitate, because stepping into a new season often feels uncomfortable. Not because the season is wrong, but because your mind is still catching up with your spirit. Last night, your spirit accepted the decree, but your mind is still adjusting. Your emotions are still recalibrating. Your habits are still resetting. This tension, this holy discomfort, is the sign that transformation is underway. Let me tell you something deeply personal. When God elevated me into a season I wasn't expecting, I didn't feel ready. I felt overwhelmed. I felt small. I felt like maybe God had made a mistake. But later I learned an essential truth. Heaven never promotes you based on how ready you feel. Heaven promotes you based on how prepared you are. And preparation is often invisible, unnoticed, and uncelebrated. Chosen one. Heaven would not have moved last night if you were not ready. Heaven does not release what you cannot hold. The fact that your name was called, the fact that your scroll was unsealed, the fact that your destiny was accelerated, this is proof that the season you've been waiting for is finally aligning with the person you have become. You are stepping into a phase where divine resources will begin to flow toward you. Financial doors will open with ease that contradicts your past. Opportunities that seemed impossible will begin to seek you, and people who once underestimated you will be unable to understand how quickly your life transforms. But heaven understands. Heaven authorized it. Heaven initiated it. And now, chosen one. The question is not whether the breakthrough is real, it is whether you will believe long enough to walk into it. Because faith is not fantasy. Faith is alignment, and you are standing in the space where alignment becomes manifestation. Breakthrough is not coming, it has already begun. Chosen one. As we step into this next part of the journey, I want you to breathe and recognize where you are standing. You are not in the same spiritual landscape you were even a few days ago. Something around you has shifted. Something within you has awakened. Something above you has aligned. And whether you feel it fully or only sense it faintly, the truth remains unchanged. Your life has entered a divine window. This window is not ordinary, it is not seasonal, it is not emotional, it is spiritual, appointed and sealed by heaven. Some people live their entire lives without ever encountering a window like this. But you, chosen one, have been ushered into it because heaven has determined that the fullness of your calling can no longer be delayed. You may not understand what that means yet. You may look at your surroundings and see limitations, unfinished battles, bills, responsibilities, or uncertainty about tomorrow. But the shift that heaven initiates never begins at the level of circumstance. It begins at the level of decree. It begins at the level of spirit. And last night, the decree over your life changed. I want you to hear this with the weight it deserves. The atmosphere surrounding your destiny has been rewritten. Your spiritual identity has been elevated. And the roles, connections, and resources that were once blocked from reaching you are now being reassigned, redirected, and released into your path. I know this because I have lived through the moment you are in right now. There was a season in my life where it felt like everything around me was stagnant. Nothing was moving. It felt like I was pushing against invisible walls, applying effort, praying, hoping, trying, but receiving little in return. I started to believe maybe I had misunderstood God's promises. Maybe the timing was wrong. Maybe I wasn't chosen for the things my heart longed for. And then suddenly, without warning, the atmosphere changed. Opportunities that had been silent for years resurfaced. People who once overlooked me suddenly sought my presence. Resources I never imagined having began to flow in unexpected ways. And as things began to shift, I realized something profound. Heaven had moved before anything else moved. Chosen one. The same is happening for you. Your breakthrough is not beginning, it has already begun. That is why your body feels differently. That is why certain old fears feel like they are losing their grip. That is why your dreams feel more vivid. Heaven has opened a gate and your spirit is standing at the threshold. But here is a truth many people never understand. Heaven can open a gate, but you must decide to walk through it. You are being called to move differently now, not with the hesitation of your past, not with the fear that once defined your steps, not with the uncertainty that was planted in you by those who didn't see your worth. Your next steps must come from alignment, not anxiety. From intention, not survival. From identity, not insecurity. Because the life waiting for you on the other side of this window requires a stronger, more surrendered version of you. It requires you to trust the whispers of heaven more than the noise of your circumstances. It requires you to release what was so you can embrace what is becoming. And I know something in you is ready. Even if your mind argues, even if your emotions are slow to catch up, even if your habits haven't fully shifted yet, your spirit knows what time it is. Your spirit remembers what happened last night. Your spirit recognizes the sound of divine acceleration. Chosen one, heaven is not only releasing blessing, heaven is releasing clarity. The confusion you lived in for so long, it is lifting. The indecision that kept you stuck, it is dissolving. The patterns that repeated year after year, they are breaking. You are stepping into a season where your discernment will sharpen. You will see people for who they truly are, not with suspicion, but with wisdom. You will sense opportunities, not by their appearance, but by their spiritual weight. You will feel God's guidance not as a distant vibration, but as a gentle pull on your heart. And with this clarity comes responsibility. There will be things you must release, not because they are sinful, but because they are small. There will be people you must love from a distance, not because they are wicked, but because they cannot go where you are going. There will be habits you must outgrow, not because they made you unworthy, but because they made you unavailable for greater. This is the sacred pruning before the supernatural harvest. And yes, I know pruning is uncomfortable. I know letting go feels like losing control. I know stepping into the unknown stretches parts of you that you would rather protect. But hear me with your spirit. Everything God removes creates space for something better than you imagined. The blessing coming toward you cannot fit into the life you are leaving. Chosen. One, heaven has already chosen you. Now you must choose what heaven has prepared. This window will not stay open forever. Divine timing is both invitation and responsibility. But I believe you are ready. I believe heaven sees something in you that even you have not fully recognized. Now, breathe, center yourself, and prepare. Chosen one. Before we step deeper into this revelation, I want you to understand the magnitude of what happened when your name rose through the heavens. This is not symbolism, not poetic imagery, not emotional exaggeration. This is spiritual reality. When heaven speaks your name, realms respond, atmospheres shift, ancient gates tremble, assignments activate. And last night, something was released in your life that even the archangels approached with reverence. You may not feel special. You may not feel powerful. You may even feel like you're barely holding yourself together. But heaven sees you differently. Heaven sees the resilience beneath your exhaustion. Heaven sees the purity beneath your pain. Heaven sees the strength that was forged quietly while you survived seasons meant to break you. This is why your name carried such weight in the courts of heaven last night. It wasn't because of your perfection, it was because of your perseverance. It was because you kept walking when you had every reason to stop. It was because you kept believing even when it hurt. It was because you continued to hope even when hope felt foolish. Chosen one. Heaven does not overlook hearts like yours. Heaven responds to them. And last night, heaven responded loudly. Your name was carried into a chamber where decisions are sealed, destinies are assigned, and timelines are reordered. And when your scroll was opened, there was a silence, a holy stillness, because what was written about you was not small. It was not ordinary. It was not common. Your destiny has always been weighty, but until now it was concealed under layers of delay, opposition, and spiritual interference. That concealment has now been removed. You have been unveiled in the spirit, and with that unveiling comes both an awakening and an acceleration. An awakening to who you truly are, and an acceleration toward what has always been yours. I need you to understand something personal here. There was a time in my life where God tried to elevate me, but my own mindset refused to rise with the promotion. I kept seeing myself through the lens of my failures, my losses, my insecurities. I thought heaven was being kind, but surely mistaken. I believed blessing was for others, the confident ones, the gifted ones, the ones who seemed to have everything figured out, not me. But then something happened. God confronted me with truth. He said, "You are limiting a destiny I designed." And those words changed everything, because it made me realize that heaven can open 1,000 doors, but if I don't believe I'm worthy to walk through them, I'll remain standing outside. Chosen one. Heaven just opened doors for you. Now you must believe you belong in the rooms they lead to. What was released over your life last night is bigger than anything you've experienced. It carries financial favor, spiritual authority, relational restoration and generational impact. It is not a blessing only for you, it is a blessing flowing through you, meant to alter the course of those connected to your bloodline. There are breakthroughs coming that will make sense of past battles. There are opportunities coming that will redeem years of loss. There are people coming into your life who will multiply your growth instead of draining your strength. This is divine compensation, divine reversal, divine inheritance, and it has already begun. But here is the part many chosen ones overlook. Heaven's acceleration will require your cooperation. You cannot carry this next chapter with the habits, fears, or expectations of your old one. You must stand differently now. Think differently, speak differently, move differently. Why? Because the blessing coming toward you requires capacity, and last night, heaven expanded your capacity. You may feel a stretching inside of you, that's the spirit enlarging. You may feel a discomfort, that's the old shell breaking. You may feel a holy pressure, that's destiny pressing forward. Chosen one, you are being prepared to receive quickly. Things that once took years will now take weeks or even days. The momentum around your life is shifting from slow growth to sudden manifestation. Heaven has accelerated your timeline, but with acceleration comes alignment. This means you will notice certain things begin to fall away, people who no longer resonate with your spirit, environments that no longer fit your growth habits, that cannot survive where you are going. Do not fight these changes. Do not cling to what heaven is gently removing. Release makes room, and there is so much heaven wants to give you now. You are being positioned for divine resources, ideas, connections, breakthroughs, provision that flow supernaturally. Not because you are chasing them, but because they are chasing you. You have shifted from seeking to being sought, from pursuing to attracting, from hoping to embodying. This is the realm of the chosen. And as you feel this shift unfolding, you may ask yourself, why now? Why me? Why after everything I lost? Because chosen one, now you are ready. Not perfect, not polished, not unscarred, but ready. Heaven does not choose the flawless. Heaven chooses the surrendered. And you, through every painful chapter, surrendered. This is why the archangels stood still. This is why heaven moved. This is why your name was magnified in the spirit. The time you've been waiting for is no longer ahead of you. It is here. Chosen one. As we continue this journey, I want you to pause and truly sense what is happening around your life right now. There's a quiet intensity in the air, a divine stirring that refuses to be ignored. You may have felt it the moment you woke up, that strange mixture of calm and anticipation, that inner vibration that whispers, something has shifted. And you are right, something has. But here is the part many people never discern. The shift is not just happening for you, it is happening within you. Last night's heavenly movement did not merely alter circumstances, it altered you. The architecture of your spirit has been reinforced. The cracks left by old wounds have been sealed. The places where disappointment weakened your courage have been strengthened. Heaven did not simply give you a blessing. Heaven ensured you became a vessel capable of carrying it. Because some blessings are too heavy for fractured hearts. Some callings too weighty for weary spirits. Some destinies too powerful for unhealed wounds. Chosen one, heaven healed parts of you last night that you haven't even discovered yet. The healing is not loud. It is not dramatic. It is subtle, holy, and deeply intelligent. It is the kind of healing that reveals itself in moments when you respond differently than you once did, when peace rises, where fear used to live, when clarity appears, where confusion once ruled. I know this because I have lived through a similar transformation. There was a season in my life where I begged God to fix my circumstances, never realizing He was trying to fix me. I thought breakthrough meant external change, more opportunities, better finances, open doors. But heaven kept pressing on my heart, softening what disappointment had hardened, repairing what life had fractured. I didn't understand then that inner restoration is not a delay, it is preparation. And now, chosen one, you are walking through that same process. Heaven strengthened the you beneath your ambition, beneath your dreams, beneath your calling. Heaven made sure that when the blessings arrive, and they are arriving, you will not break under the weight of them. But this next truth is one of the most sacred. The blessing coming to you is bigger than what you prayed for. Heaven is not returning what you lost. Heaven is multiplying it. Heaven is not restoring what was taken. Heaven is upgrading it. Heaven is not compensating your suffering. Heaven is crowning it. This is why the warfare in your past was so violent. This is why certain people tried so hard to sabotage you. This is why life seemed to delay you more than others. You were never ordinary. Your calling was never common. The magnitude of what you carry required depth, and depth requires pressure. Chosen one, do not resent the pressure. Pressure made you precise. Pressure made you discerning. Pressure made you capable of holding glory without breaking. And because heaven has now released what was delayed, you will notice something powerful in the days ahead. Your environment will begin to rearrange itself around your elevation. People who once ignored you will suddenly become attentive. Opportunities that were once closed will unlock. Ideas will flow effortlessly. Doors will swing open without struggle. Not because you changed externally, but because your spiritual signature has shifted. You are walking with a new authority, even if you don't feel it yet. This is why certain relationships will suddenly feel off. Not toxic, not wrong, just misaligned. Because the version of you that heaven elevated cannot fit comfortably in places built for who you used to be. This is not rejection. This is transition. This is spiritual maturity calling you forward. And I want to tell you something deeply personal. When God elevated me, it wasn't the celebration I expected. It was quieter. It was holy. It was intimate. And the first sign of my elevation was not applause, it was separation. People I loved drifted away. Environments I relied on became uncomfortable. It felt like loss, but in reality, it was alignment. Chosen one. The same will happen for you. Not because you are being punished, but because you are being prepared. Not because people are bad, but because your path is specific. Not because you are alone, but because heaven is escorting you into a new chapter. And here is where many chosen ones hesitate. They try to pull old comfort into new calling. They try to drag old voices into new seasons. They try to carry old identities into new destinies. But heaven is calling you higher. Heaven is asking you to rise. Heaven is inviting you to walk as the person last night crafted you to become. This means you will have to trust your transformation even before you fully understand it. It means you will have to believe what heaven declared even before your life reflects it. It means you will have to walk like someone chosen, not someone hoping to be. Chosen one, hear me clearly. You are no longer fighting for breakthrough. You are walking in it. The gate is open. The blessing has been released. The shift has occurred. The new chapter has begun. Chosen one, as we step into this next dimension of what unfolded over your life, I want you to prepare your spirit because this part carries weight. This part explains why heaven moved so fiercely, why the archangels stood still, and why the shift you are experiencing right now is not subtle but seismic. Last night was not merely a moment, it was a verdict. A ruling, a divine reversal sealed in the highest court of heaven. And that ruling did not just clear your path, it placed something in your hands. Chosen one, you have been entrusted with something sacred. You may not feel it physically, you may not see it in the natural, you may not even fully comprehend it yet. But in the spirit, you are holding what once belonged to the version of you that endured. Heaven placed your destiny, your refined destiny, back into your hands. And this time, the scroll is sealed in a way that no enemy, no delay, no betrayal, and no sabotage can interfere with again. This is why your spirit has felt heavy. This is why your heart has been trembling. This is why your thoughts feel both clear and overwhelmed. You are carrying destiny, not in theory, but in truth. And I need you to hear me when I say this, your destiny has expanded. You are not receiving back what was taken. You are receiving what should have been and more. You are stepping into what was delayed, multiplied. You are being restored to the version of your life that delay tried to destroy. Chosen one, heaven did not just rewrite your story, heaven upgraded it. And with that upgrade comes responsibility, authority, and spiritual weight. This is not the season where you shrink. This is not the season where you question whether you deserve what is coming. This is the season where you rise into the fullness of who you were always meant to be. Let me tell you something personal, something I never understood until I lived through my own divine reversal. There was a moment in my life when God gave me what I had been praying for, but instead of feeling joy, I felt fear. Not fear of failure, fear of responsibility. It felt too big, too heavy, too fast. I worried I would disappoint God. I worried I wasn't capable. I worried that maybe heaven had somehow overestimated me. But then God whispered to my spirit, I do not give mantles to those who cannot carry them. I give mantles to those I have prepared. That one sentence shifted everything. Chosen one, the same is true for you. Heaven did not elevate you accidentally. Heaven did not transfer blessing impulsively. Heaven did not increase your influence randomly. Everything released to you last night was intentional, strategic, and perfectly timed. And now, heaven is calling you to step into alignment with who you have become, not who you used to be. You may still feel the echoes of old fear. You may still carry traces of yesterday's doubt. You may still hear the distant voices of those who underestimated you, but none of those voices carry authority anymore. The only voice that matters is the one that spoke your name before the throne. Chosen one, that voice declared, restore everything, accelerate everything, release everything. Every word meant for your elevation. Every blessing meant for your legacy. Every opportunity meant for your spiritual and financial expansion. This is why your spirit feels like it is expanding inside your chest. This is why something in you feels too large for the life you've been living. This is why your old environments feel tight, small, or suffocating. You have outgrown who you were. You have outgrown the limitations placed on you. You have outgrown the opinions that shaped your past. Heaven enlarged you last night, and enlargement always demands movement. This is the part where you step differently, not from fear, but from authority. Where you speak differently, not with hesitation, but with clarity. Where you walk differently, not with insecurity, but with divine confidence. Because you are not walking into a blessing, the blessing is walking toward you. You are not chasing breakthrough, breakthrough has already found you. You are not praying for a miracle, the miracle has entered your timeline. And yes, the weight you feel is real, but so is the strength heaven placed inside you. You are not the person who survived. You are the person who will now build. You are not the one who simply endured. You are the one who will now expand. You are not the one who was overlooked. You are the one who has been chosen, revealed, and released. Chosen one. What heaven placed into your hands last night was not symbolic. It was spiritual transfer. It was supernatural inheritance. It was divine authorization. And now your life must rise to match it. Chosen one. As we step into this next phase, let your spirit settle. What unfolds here is not instruction for the mind, but alignment for the soul. You are standing in a divine transition, a space where heaven has already moved and the earth is now catching up. This is the terrain between what God has finished and what you are beginning to perceive. It is a sacred intersection, and how you walk from here will shape how fully you receive what has already been released. Heaven did not simply rewrite your story last night. Heaven rewrote the posture of your entire life. You are no longer someone who is waiting for breakthrough. You are someone becoming synchronized with breakthrough. The difference may seem subtle, but spiritually it is monumental. Waiting keeps you passive. Alignment makes you active. Waiting looks to the future. Alignment stands in what God already decreed. This is why your inner world feels different. Something in you knows you cannot continue living according to yesterday's rhythm. Chosen one. I understand this shift deeply because I have lived through it. There was a season in my life when God elevated me into an answered prayer, yet I still walked like someone hoping, not someone receiving. I still thought small, still expected resistance, still prepared for the worst. I didn't realize that sometimes the hardest part of breakthrough is allowing yourself to believe it has already happened. You are in that same place, learning how to inhabit what heaven has already placed in your hands. This is why your first task in this season is to guard your mind, not from danger, but from old identities. Thoughts from past seasons will try to reattach themselves: shame, worry, scarcity, self-doubt. These thoughts are not prophetic, they are habitual. They come from the old version of you, the version heaven retired last night. When they arise, you don't need to fight them aggressively. You simply refuse to agree with them. Speak softly but firmly inside your spirit. This thought no longer belongs to me. That is not denial. It is alignment with who you are becoming. The next task is to guard your circle. Not everyone around you is prepared to witness your elevation. Some love you, but remain too attached to the version of you you've outgrown. Some admire you but cannot handle the weight of your calling. Some stand near you but are not equipped to rise with you. You do not need to reject anyone, but you must reposition them. Elevation changes proximity. Growth requires space, and your spirit cannot expand if you are surrounded by voices that only recognize your past. chosen one. You must also begin to move, even if the movement feels small. Breakthrough responds to motion. Heaven has opened the gate, but you must take the steps. Begin with what is in your hands. Start the project. Make the call. Research the opportunity. Take the class. Rearrange your budget. Clean the space where your next season will unfold. Do something, even if it seems insignificant. In the spiritual realm, small movements create large openings. Then write, document, record. Because what heaven did last night was not symbolic, it was literal, spiritual, and irreversible. And your emotions may fluctuate. Your environment may challenge you. But the written word becomes an anchor. Write what shifted in you. Write what you felt. Write what you now believe. These notes will become stones of remembrance markers that hold you accountable to the new truth heaven has established. Lastly, live with expectancy. Expectancy is not wishing. It is agreement. It is the spiritual posture of someone who knows heaven has acted and now walks forward with quiet, unwavering confidence. You are not hoping for favor. You are walking in favor. You are not asking for alignment. You are adjusting yourself into alignment. You are not begging for breakthrough. You are preparing room for what is unfolding. Expectancy is not loud. It is steady, calm, and rooted. Chosen. One, believe me, when I say this, God is not waiting to bless you. Heaven is waiting for you to rise into the version of yourself capable of receiving the blessing already decreed. This requires intention, sensitivity, and daily agreement with what was spoken over your life in the night. You are not being asked to work harder. You are being asked to walk differently, to think differently, to speak differently, to choose differently. And the moment you begin living in alignment with heaven's decree, everything around you begins to shift in response. Doors open faster, connections flow easier, ideas become clearer, strength rises naturally, peace settles where anxiety once lived. This is not coincidence, it is the natural outcome of spiritual agreement. Heaven moved first. Now, chosen one, it is your turn to rise into the decree written over your life. Chosen one, as we enter this next part, understand this clearly. What heaven released over your life is not fragile. It is not uncertain. It is not something you must fight to keep, but it is something you must grow into. Spiritual promotion always requires spiritual posture. And right now, heaven is calling you into a level of awareness that matches the magnitude of what has been entrusted to you. You are no longer navigating ordinary time, you are walking inside a divine window. This is why your spirit feels stretched, why your emotions feel heightened, why your inner world feels strangely awakened. It is not pressure, it is preparation. It is not anxiety, it is activation. What you are sensing is the weight of the mantle God placed on your life. Last night's decree did not just change your circumstances, it changed your spiritual rank, and your mind is now adjusting to the reality your spirit received instantly. The two must become one. Chosen one. This is the moment heaven has been preparing you for. You have walked through seasons you didn't understand, endured delays you couldn't explain, survived moments you didn't think you'd break free from. Every part of that journey was shaping you for this hour, not because God wanted you to suffer, but because certain levels of authority can only be carried by someone who has learned resilience, discernment, and surrender. You are stepping into authority not by ambition, but by refinement. Heaven's question over you right now is not, are they worthy? That has already been settled. Heaven's question is, are they aware? Because awareness determines how you walk, how you respond, how you carry what has been given. When you recognize the spiritual shift, you stop living like the old you. You stop shrinking. You stop hesitating. You stop apologizing for your calling. You begin walking with the quiet confidence of someone chosen by God. There is a reason the angels watched you this morning. They saw you rise with the thoughts of yesterday clinging to you, unaware that heaven had already rewritten your tomorrow. They saw you move as though the old restrictions still applied. They saw you question things that have already been settled. And they trembled not out of fear, but urgency, because heaven cannot force you into what it has prepared. You must step into it consciously. Chosen one. The spiritual gates that opened for you will not remain open forever. This is not to scare you, but to awaken you. Divine windows operate on divine timing. They appear, they expand, they invite, and then they close once the assignment shifts. But right now the window is open, wide, glowing, waiting. Heaven is calling you to move while the atmosphere is pregnant with supernatural acceleration. What was difficult in past seasons will come easily in this one. This is why you feel pressed to make certain decisions, why new ideas keep rising in your spirit, why an inner pull keeps urging you to start to change, to step forward. That is not restlessness, it is instruction. Heaven is whispering direction in ways that feel like intuition, sudden clarity, unexpected peace. Do not ignore these nudges. They are the mapping of your next season. God rarely shouts when he can guide through subtlety. Chosen one, understand this. The blessing released over you is not simply restoration, it is multiplication. God did not return what was lost. God returned what should have been had sabotage never touched your path. Opportunities you never knew were tied to your name. Strength you didn't know you possessed. Resources that should have been yours years ago. The divine reversal was not equal, it was abundant. Heaven restored you beyond your original timeline. But with this kind of restoration comes a spiritual responsibility. You cannot navigate this season casually. You must walk like someone entrusted with influence, favor, and divine authority. Not with arrogance, but with reverence. Not with fear, but with holy strength. You must choose environments that match your calling, conversations that build your future decisions, that honor your assignment. This is not about perfection, it is about posture. Chosen one, there is one last truth you must understand before stepping fully into what awaits you. What happened last night was not simply about breakthrough, it was about identity. Heaven did not just rewrite your future. Heaven revealed your true spiritual rank. You are not entering this season empty-handed. You are carrying authority. You are carrying access. You are carrying a scroll sealed by God Himself. And this makes you a threat to anything that once tried to limit you. Walk forward now with the understanding that nothing ahead of you is random. Every opportunity that appears, every person who arrives, every door that opens is part of a divine sequence already put in motion. You are not chasing destiny. Destiny is unfolding beneath your feet. And the more you align, the faster it manifests. This is the hour heaven has been shaping you for. The gate is open. The path is clear. The blessing is active. Now, chosen one, walk into the fullness that awaits. Chosen one, now that we have reached this final movement of your journey, pause for a moment and let your spirit breathe. What you are stepping into is not conclusion, it is coronation. Everything you've walked through, everything heaven unveiled, everything that shifted in the unseen last night has been leading you here. This part is where revelation becomes responsibility, where prophecy becomes posture, and where divine instruction becomes lived reality. What you do next will determine how fully you inherit what heaven has already released. First, understand this with absolute clarity: the spiritual atmosphere around you has changed. You may not see it with your natural eyes, but your spirit feels it. That subtle pressure in your chest, that unusual calm in your mind, that sense that something is different, but you can't explain it. This is the afterglow of divine intervention. Heaven moved on your behalf in a way that is rare, weighty, and irrevocable. You are carrying a new spiritual identity, and your life must now rise to match it. Chosen one. Heaven has shifted your position, but you must shift your perspective. If you continue thinking like yesterday, you will shrink what heaven expanded. If you continue planning from fear, you will sabotage what grace restored. If you continue walking with hesitation, you will delay what God accelerated. You are not the version of yourself who survived. You are the version of yourself who has been entrusted. This requires a new mental atmosphere, a new emotional capacity, a new spiritual rhythm. The next step is discernment, not the kind you used in past seasons, but the elevated discernment that comes from your new spiritual rank. You will notice that certain things that once drained you no longer fit. Certain conversations will feel heavy. Certain environments will feel small. Certain people will still love you, but their energy will pull you backwards. This is not rejection, this is reordering. Elevation requires separation, not out of superiority, but out of stewardship. You cannot carry a divine mantle in a space not designed to hold it. Chosen one. You will also begin to feel a renewed hunger for excellence. This is heaven stirring your capacity. You will feel urges to organize, to clean, to plan, to build, to move things around. Do not dismiss these impulses. They are spiritual nudges disguised as natural motivation. Heaven often strengthens order before releasing abundance. Your environment is becoming a reflection of your new identity. The external shift is confirming the internal resurrection happening within you. You will also notice that opportunities will begin to appear subtly, not always loudly, not always dramatically, but quietly, steadily, like gentle confirmations. A conversation that opens a door. A message that sparks an idea. A chance encounter that feels divinely timed. The shift will not always come through thunder. Often it arrives through whisper. Your task is to pay attention, lean into peace, lean into clarity, lean into the subtle pull forward that God keeps placing in your spirit. Chosen one. You must also learn to take holy risks. This season will require courage, not reckless courage, but spirit-led bravery. There will be moments when God asks you to move before you feel ready. That is because heaven sees what is prepared for you. Your emotions only see what is familiar. Miracles rarely occur inside comfort. Breakthrough rarely emerges from hesitation. Your faith must now match your calling. Your steps must correspond to the size of your destiny. And let me speak to you from experience. There will be moments when you question whether you heard God correctly. Moments when the path feels too open, too good, too sudden. I have lived through this kind of season myself, when doors opened so rapidly that I wondered if I was prepared. But God does not release acceleration to the unready. If heaven has moved, it is because heaven knows you are capable. The blessing is evidence of your maturity, not your perfection. Chosen one, hear this deeply. The gate that opened for you is not ordinary. It is a gate for the chosen, the appointed, the trusted. This is why your spirit feels both lighter and heavier. Lighter, because you have been freed. Heavier, because you have been entrusted. This is what it feels like to walk with spiritual authority. This is what it feels like to carry destiny. Heaven has placed weight in your hands, and that weight is glory, not burden. As you walk forward, you must also learn to protect the decree spoken over your life, not with fear, but with intention. That means guarding your thoughts, your choices, your words. Aligning yourself with truth, not emotion. Speaking life, not doubt. Moving with purpose, not reaction. Heaven has done its part. Now you become the steward of the miracle. You are the vessel through which God manifests what was written in the night. Finally, chosen one, embrace the identity heaven has affirmed over you. You are not simply someone God helped. You are someone God chose. You are not merely someone who survived an attack. You are someone who carries a verdict of victory. You are not walking into your next season empty-handed. You are walking in with a sealed scroll, a restored inheritance, and an anointing that cannot be undone. Rise now into the fullness of what has been written. Walk with the certainty of someone whose name was lifted before the throne. Move as one who has already been declared victorious. The gate is open. The season is active. The blessing is alive. Now, chosen one, step into your destiny. Chosen one. As you step into this section of the journey, allow your inner world to come fully awake. You are no longer receiving scattered pieces of revelation. You are receiving the architecture of your new life. Everything heaven declared over you last night is now beginning its passage into the natural realm. And though you may not yet see the evidence around you, the shift within you has already begun. This is the moment where spiritual truth begins shaping physical reality. There is always a sacred space between what heaven has spoken and what the earth has caught up to. Many lose faith in this gap because they expect instant transformation in their circumstances. But breakthrough is not a magic trick. It is a sequence. It unfolds first in the unseen, then settles into the atmosphere, and finally becomes visible in the world around you. What you are feeling right now is not delay, but divine synchronization. Your environment is aligning itself with the decree spoken over your life. Chosen one. You must understand that perception is your most critical responsibility in this season. When heaven promotes you, the enemy cannot undo it. So instead, he tries to distort your vision. He whispers familiar lies. He tries to stir up old fears. He pushes memories of past failures to the surface. But these whispers are not signs of defeat. They are signs of departure. You are shedding the mindset of your former season, and shedding never feels tidy. It feels like friction because you are being pushed out of an identity that can no longer hold your future. As heaven rewrote your scroll, something else happened that you may not immediately recognize. Spiritual restraints that held you for years were severed. Cycles you thought were part of your personality were actually battles tied to old agreements, old wounds, and old spiritual interference. Last night dissolved them. And now as your soul adjusts, you may feel strangely lighter, clearer, or even emotionally exposed. This is the release of long-carried burdens you never realized you were holding. Relationships will begin shifting as well. Someone who once felt central to your life may begin drifting. Someone you leaned on may become distant. A voice you trusted may suddenly sound unfamiliar to your spirit. Do not cling to what heaven is loosening. This is not abandonment. This is alignment. Not everyone can stand near you while you rise. Not everyone was meant to walk through the next door with you. Heaven is protecting your momentum by adjusting your proximity. In the same way, new alignments will appear quietly. A stranger may carry a message you needed. A conversation may ignite clarity. An opportunity may arrive without warning. The divine rarely announces itself loudly. More often, it arrives in whispers, in gentle nudges, in moments that make your spirit lean forward without knowing why. Trust these impressions. The supernatural often disguises itself as intuition. This is also the season where discipline becomes sacred. Not the harsh discipline of self-punishment, but the sacred discipline of alignment. The blessing has already been released. Your role is to create the internal foundation that can hold it. That means choosing peace over impulse, patience over fear, clarity over confusion. Stillness becomes strategy. Silence becomes strength. Intention becomes your anchor. You are not trying to earn the miracle. You are becoming the vessel that can sustain it. Chosen one. You will feel the weight of this transition. But do not misinterpret it. This weight is not heaviness. It is glory. It is purpose settling properly on your spirit. I have felt this in my own life, the moment when God entrusts you with something larger than you expected, and suddenly your posture changes. You stand with more depth. You speak with more intention. You walk with more awareness. This is not pressure. This is evidence that heaven sees you as ready. As you continue forward, remember that identity must shift before destiny can manifest. You are no longer the version of yourself that survived. You are the version heaven has appointed to lead, rise, and carry influence. Do not speak from your old wounds. Do not decide from your old fears. Do not shrink to fit rooms you have outgrown. Your steps must now match the revelation placed in your hands. Chosen one, you are standing in the center of divine timing. You are aligned with heaven's rhythm. You are walking in the first stages of fulfillment. What is unfolding for you now is not coincidence, it is orchestration. Breathe deeply and move with intention. You are exactly where heaven needs you to be. The new season has already begun, and you are rising into it with strength, clarity, and divine authority. Chosen one, as we close this sacred moment, breathe deeply and let your spirit recognize what your mind is still catching up to. Heaven has already moved on your behalf. The decree has gone forth. The shift has begun. You are standing in your Kairos moment, the exact divine timing where what was written in eternity begins unfolding in your reality. Anointed one, walk from this message, knowing that something holy has been activated within you. The supernatural transfer that began last night is not pending, it is progressing, it is locating you, it is aligning every detail of your path with precision, favor, and acceleration. What felt delayed is now being delivered. What felt withheld is now being released. Step forward with reverence. Step forward with expectancy. Step forward, knowing heaven is not preparing to bless you. Heaven has already done it. Your only task now is to stay aligned, stay awake, stay faithful, and stay available to the flow of the anointing resting on your life. Chosen one. If this word touched your spirit, you may type, "I receive what heaven released," as your declaration of agreement. Until we meet again, walk in your new identity. Walk in your divine timing. And remember, heaven has already moved. Now, chosen one, it is your turn.